So number one here, I'm pretty sure you know what to do. I did mention that a good amount to play would be like the first two bars, and I'd say the first two bars plus the first note of the third bar. Like this highlighted portion would be good for a warm-up type thing. Like work that up past 200 would be best, and then start putting the whole thing together. Of course, you can work on everything, below 200, and eventually try and get this whole thing up to the 200, and beyond that, really. So, just even like doing like half of it would be good. Just kind of like ease into it. See if you can start. Well, warm up to like being able to do this, and then once you can do that highlighted part, try going to here, and then like add a couple bars at a time. Just kind of keep adding until you be able to go all the way down to the open E. The pentatonic stuff. So I can't remember. I think you might do your, yeah, that's right, you do. You do your whole step stuff with your middle finger, where I use my ring. So you might use different fingers than me on this. The first line up there is really just taking the E to E there in that pentatonic, and so is the second line. It's just you got two ways of doing it. Oof, don't do that. Yeah, so if you economy pick this thing, I mean, of course you can hammer on pull-offs too. It's so weird hitting that stretch. It feels like I'm gonna sneeze. Oof. Clearly I don't practice this. Anyway, there's the weird stretches there. So if you economy pick this thing, you'd be doing like your down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, 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 down, up. So ending on a different stroke than what you started with. So again, you basically you start with your alternate picking, and then as you ascend the scale, you always do a downstroke and you begin the next string. And then you'll do an upstroke every time you go to the next string when you're descending. But again, you can also practice it doing hammer-ons and pull-offs instead. And then, of course, you got just your other option here. So if you economy pick this, the second line, you would be going down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, 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 down, up, up. Again, that is down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up. And always legato this as well. Number 3 here. I just use what fingers feel best for your stretch. Let's go through this here. I'm looking at the time. It's like, oh man, I got 6 minutes until my next lesson. It's like, should I have waited to make this video? Well, let's see what we can do here. Come on, mouse, work. There we go. There we go. Now it's working. Let's see, what would I do here? So yeah, the first 2 bars, I'm starting with my ring finger, because I know, again, the whole step, you use your middle finger, but this is such a huge stretch, probably better to use your ring finger instead. When you get here, you might want to switch to using your middle finger for that, for the second 2 bars, bars 3 and 4. And again, I need to use my ring finger, but it might work better for you to go middle here. And then this next part, so starting on the 13, the C note there, start with your ring. So ring, first, second, pinky. So this way you get all 4 fingers involved with this. And then start with your ring finger here. to get that extra big stretch. And then here, you might want to start with your middle finger. Yeah, start with the middle finger. Once you get the hang of that, I mentioned to make it more challenging is just take out every other bar. So instead of playing each group of notes twice, you just play it once and you move on to the next little phrase there. And then number 4. There we go. So as you figured out, it was just taking this basic pentatonic lick and making it much more playable in terms of speed here. So, yeah, starting with your pinky, middle, and first. So, nice thing is you get the same set of frets for the first 2 bars, and then you got to switch it to your pinky, ring, and first finger for the next 2, which end up using the same frets again, which is quite convenient. And then for me, I can just keep that ring finger down, but for you, you might want to jump back to using your first, second, and fourth for that part. One thing that's kind of inconvenient about this is, I mean, you may want to end up switching with the fingers you end up using when you get to transition into the next bar where you get the different finger patterns. Like there, when you hit the last note of the second bar, you might want to use your ring instead. So this way you're not jumping fingers. In fact, yeah, do that instead. So even though it's the same frets, try to use your fingering at the bottom there. But yeah, think about how you're going to start the next phrase here. So if you're going to be using your ring finger for that note, end it here with your ring finger, so this way it's an easier transition into that. And then if you're going to be using your middle finger for this note, make sure that you hit that note with your middle finger so it's easier to transition into that. So kind of a look ahead at what's going on thing and make it easier for yourself. And look at that. Managed to finish the video with like a minute to spare. Alright, if any questions come up, let me know, and I'll see you next week.